270. This is my favorite verse in the second chapter. Does anybody have a favorite verse in the second chapter that you have? Okay, this is a very nice verse. Krishna, he says, you want to follow along? Chant along? Have it up there. Apoyamanam machala pratishtam
Apoyamanam machala pratishtam
Samudramapa prapasanti yadva
Samudramapa pravisanti yadva.
Actually, there's another melody. Let me get this. Apoyamanam machala pratishtam
Apoyamanam machala pratishtam
Samudramapa prapasanti yadva
Samudramapa pravisanti yadva.
Tadvakamayam prapasanti sarve
Kamayam pravisanti sarve
Stanti mapnoti nakamakami.
Sasanti mapnoti nakamakami.
So Krishna says, a person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled, but which is always steady, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. Purport. Although the vast ocean is always filled with water, it is always, especially during the rainy season, being filled with much more water. But the ocean remains the same, steady. It is not agitated, nor does it cross beyond the limit of its brink. That is also true of a person fixed in Krishna consciousness. As long as one has the material body, the demands of the body for sense gratification will continue. The devotee, however, is not disturbed by such desires because of his fullness. A Krishna conscious man is not in need of anything because the Lord fulfills all his material necessities. Therefore, he is like the ocean, always full to himself. Desires may come to him, like the waters of the rivers that flow into the ocean, but he is steady in his activities, and he is not even slightly disturbed by desires for sense gratification. That is the proof of a Krishna conscious man, one who has lost all inclinations for material sense gratification, although the desires are present. Because he remains satisfied in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, he can remain steady like the ocean, and therefore enjoy full peace. Others, however, who want to fulfill desires even up to the limit of liberation, what to speak of material success, never attain peace. The fruitive workers, the salvationists, and also the yogis who are after mystic powers are all unhappy because of unfulfilled desires. But the person in Krishna consciousness is happy in the service of the Lord, and he has no desires to be fulfilled. In fact, he does not even desire liberation from his so-called material bondage. The devotees of Krishna have no material desires, and therefore they are in perfect peace. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shri Krishna ki jai. That's nice teaching them. Om Jnana Tamadandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakstram Lalitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Kukumku Divatalam Pamulan Hayategi Yat Kripa Taraham Bande Sri Gurum Niratavanam Vancha Kapa Piyubyasya Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavane Vaishnadeyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. This bhakti process, it's the art of desire. The art of desire. There's so many unwanted desires that sometimes come upon us, and many wanted desires. Also, wanted desires are spiritual desires that help us become elevated in the service of Krishna. And unwanted desires, these are material desires. They degrade our consciousness. So when material desires come, we should pray to Krishna to become free of them, because they hold us back from our journey. Actually, the goal of the human form of life is to attain pure Krishna consciousness so that we can go back home. Not easy. Not easy, because we have an inner war with desire. But Krishna, he's very kind, so he gives association with devotees. There's someone may ask, well, what is a material desire? Can anybody say? What is a material desire?
Anything not related to Krishna, or like us being more spiritual.
Very good, yeah. Anything that's not in line with the desires of Krishna, that's a material desire. Another definition is a material desire is something that will never fully satisfy you because it's material. Krishna says, Yehi samsparsha javoga. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery which is due to contact with material senses. Such pleasures have a beginning and an end. So a wise person does not take delight in them. So nobody wants their happiness to end, right? Right? We all, desire means that we want happiness from that, ultimately, right? And we don't want the happiness to stop, right? But that's what happens. Yeah. Things may start out good. It's like Krishna says in the Gita, that in the mode of goodness, it's bitter in the beginning and nectar in the end. Nectar in the end. But in the mode of passion, it's nectar in the beginning,
bitter in the end.
Bitter in the end. So that's the nature of this world. Therefore, there's so much frustration. The biggest disease now in the country is stress. People are very stressed out. A lot of anxiety. So this process of bhakti yoga is meant to decrease this anxiety by having spiritual desires to serve Krishna. I'll give you an example of devotees that were very exalted and had spiritual desires, and therefore they became very elevated and famous. There is one great devotee. His name is Sridhar Swami. So he got married, and shortly after he had this desire to renounce, but his wife was pregnant, so he set that aside. And then she had a child, little son, and then shortly after that she passed away. And he was thinking, well, how am I going to take care of this child? Generally it's not the men's way to go. It's kind of hard. It's a ladies' thing, right? Take care of children, isn't it? So he was thinking, what am I going to do? So then he was sitting and a baby lizard fell in front of him. And there was a fly there, and he caught the fly. And then Sridhar Swami started thinking, well, yeah, Krishna will maintain the child. This little lizard is being maintained, so Krishna will maintain the child. So he made some arrangement for the child to be taken care of. It's a little village. They had a gurukul there and everything. So they knew how exalted Sridhar was. So he left the child and he took sannyas. He became one of the greatest devotees, greatest acharyas. His commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam is just amazing. Srila Prabhupada quite often would quote Sridhar Swami. So what's interesting is 30 years later, he went back to the same village, and his boy had become the scholar in the village. He was just so respected. And of course, his son was very happy to see his father, Sridhar Swami, but he took up right after his father to be a great scholar. So he had this desire to serve Krishna, and Krishna fulfilled his desire. We're celebrating Lord Jagannath. Today I think there's going to be 56 offerings made to the Lord today. So there's many great devotees of Lord Jagannath. One sticks out the most is not good. What was the
Madam.
no the the one that wanted to see Nila Madhava? Indradumna. Indradumna Swami. Sorry. Sometimes I forget names. So Indradumna Swami, he wanted to get darshan of this Nila Madhava. Nila Madhava was famous as being very beautiful deity of the Lord. So he wanted to get darshan of this Nila Madhava. And he was a great devotee. He had this strong desire to see Nila Madhava. So he told the Brahmanas that he wanted to get darshan of this deity. So they were going around looking. They had heard that no one knew where this deity was. So they were looking and looking and looking. And one of the Brahmanas, what's his name? Forget his name. I should have had a paper. Anyway, Vidyapati, he was searching and searching and searching, and he went to this village, and he had heard about this beautiful deity, and then he got word that the name is Nila Madhava. So he didn't know where it was, and he was asking around. There was only one person that knew where this deity was, Nila Madhava. And his name was Vishvashu. He was the head of the Sauravas, yeah, and he had a daughter named Lalita. So what? Hare Krishna. So Vidyapati, he became very close to this Lalita because he wanted to find out where Nila Madhava was. So he married this girl, and they were married for some time. And he expressed, I want to see this deity of Nila Madhava. And she said, no one goes to see Nila Madhava but Vishvashu. Vishvashu. Yeah?
Vishwavasu.
Vishvavasu. It's close. Vishvavashu. So he's very attached, and he doesn't, he's afraid that somehow the deity can be taken, because it does happen. So, but he kept expressing this desire. And then she went to her father and said, "Listen, Vishvavashu, he wants to see you. Please take him. Fulfill this desire. He's my husband, please." So finally he said, okay, he relented, okay. So what Vishvashu did is he put some mustard seeds in his pocket. And as he's going, he's dropping these mustard seeds. And you know what happens eventually is the plant grows. So he left a trail. So he went and he saw the beauty of Nilamani. He was ecstatic. Just seeing the beauty of Nilamadava. It's like we have deities here, Shri Radha and Madan Mohan. How many of you have been to the temple in Mountain View? Beautiful deities, huh? So beautiful. So these deities are also very beautiful. So he was satisfied, he was completely satisfied seeing these deities. So he went down again and he went to Nirguna Maharaj. And he said, listen, I found Nilamadava. And he was so ecstatic. And Nirguna Maharaj was so ecstatic. He said, all right, let's go. Let's go. So him and a whole team of people went and following the plant, the mustard plants there. And they go and they get to the end, and Nilamadava is not there. Go. So Indradyumna Maharaj was so flustered. He was so disappointed. He was so disappointed that he was thinking, well, what is the use of my life? He was just going to fast till death. But then the Lord came to him in a dream. He said, it's okay. I will reveal myself to you. Don't take your life. So he was so happy to hear that. He said, a log is going to come down the river, and you take that log and have deities carved from this log. And sculptors tried to carve into this log, but they couldn't do it. And finally, one elderly person came, and he said, I'll do it. 3 weeks. Who knows who this was? What was his name? Vishwakarma. Yes. So he said, within 3 weeks, it'll be done. But don't interrupt me. So Indradyumna Swami, he would go there and he would hear the tapping of the wood. But then after 2 weeks, he wasn't hearing it. What's happening? He thought maybe he's finished. He finished early, maybe. So he opened the door, and Vishwakarma disappeared. And what was left was, he thought they were unfinished. And he was lamenting, oh no, I blew it, oh no, they're not finished. And then again, he's so depressed. He's so depressed that he interrupted the service of Vishwakarma. But then, that night, another dream. He said, no. Worship me in this way. Worship me in this way. Jagannath Baladeva Subhadra. So, it's a pastime of Krishna that he appeared like this. Very nice. So, Indradyumna Swami had this desire, this pure desire, and his desires were fulfilled. So if we have a pure desire to serve Krishna, then we'll be satisfied. But these material desires, they'll never satisfy us. So a devotee, as Prabhupada mentions in the purport, a devotee is full. Therefore, he's not attracted to the things of this world. Just like the ocean, it's full. But the rivers are still coming in, and it doesn't overflow. So many rivers. It's like here in America. Who knows? What is the biggest river in America?
Mississippi.
Mississippi. And the longest? Anybody know? Missouri. Missouri. They call it misery. I wasn't talking to you. So, and who knows the biggest river in the world?
Nine.
That's the longest.
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah. You got the rainforest down there, so much water. It's described that the Amazon is so big at certain times of the year that you're on one side of the bank, you can't see the other side. It's like huge. And so much water is coming out, and it creates waves, and the waves from the Amazon, they hit the waves from the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and you can hear it from miles away, just smacking up. So much water is going into the ocean, but it doesn't overflow. So it's actually mystical. It's actually, I mean, tons of water is going into the ocean, but it stays steady. So a devotee is also steady. So many desires will come. Material desires will come, but we let them go. Some desires we want to keep. Don't let them go. And it's explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathura Va, Shri Mathura, Ayaseva. These 5 are the most important. Association with devotees is most important. If we have a desire to associate with devotees, that's very good. Just like we're all here together. We're hearing about Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, so this is very good. Hearing the purport from Srila Prabhupada. So we get purified by association with Krishna, by association with devotees. And Krishna, he's the most pure. So if we associate with Krishna, we get purified. And the best way to associate with Krishna is by chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
In the Mukunda Mala Stotra, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that when the mirror of the heart is cleansed, the clean mirror of the heart reflects Krishna. So when we become pure, then Krishna will come from our heart, reflect, and it'll be so inspiring for us and for others. It's like Prabhupada, he was so pure. Krishna was reflecting his heart because he was so clean, transparent. There was no maya, no dirt. And that's our natural position, is to be clean, to have a clean heart, to have a clean mind. That's natural. It's unnatural for us to have material desires, to be impure. So if we continue hearing and chanting, then we'll get purified. It's like Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Satya Kamanoi Shravanari Surya Chitte Korya Yuga. Yes. This love for Krishna, it's in the heart of everyone. Not only the human beings, but everyone. Because the soul is there. Wherever you see life, there's a soul there. Just like in wood, there's fire. Believe it or not, in the wood, there's fire coming from the sun. It just has to be ignited. You put a match to it, the fire will come out, right? So love for Krishna is also within us. It just has to be ignited. And the way this love for Krishna is ignited is by this hearing the holy name of Krishna, by hearing the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, by association with the devotees. This love for Krishna comes out. And believe it or not, we can become completely pure. It's possible. Because Krishna, he can do anything, right? So he can also do that, right? He lifted Govardhan Hill, right? He creates universes. So for Krishna, it's nothing to purify us. But we have to also have that desire. It's like in this amazing pastime of Damodar, where Krishna was bound by Mother Yasoda. Of course, she was trying to bind him because Krishna, he can be a little mischievous. He can be a little naughty sometimes. Yeah. That's the greatness. That's the beauty of Krishna. Very attractive pastimes. So she couldn't tie him up. She was trying to tie him up to this mortar, but it was always 2 fingers. too short. She would get more and more rope. And still, 2 fingers too, more and more rope. Still. See, this is, Krishna is the master of mystics, right? So she couldn't figure it out. How was this possible? And she was trying so hard that Krishna finally said, all right. And he let her tie him up. So Sridhar Swami says that those 2 fingers represent the determination of the devotee and the mercy of Krishna. So we have to have determination and pray for the mercy of Krishna. And he'll purify our desires. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, he didn't want to fulfill Krishna's desire. Krishna wanted him to fight. And who was he fighting? Bhishma. Bhishma was the most respected person on the whole planet. And Krishna is asking him to kill him. I mean, all of you have grandfathers and fathers. Imagine someone's asking you to kill your grandfather. I mean, that'd be a tough one, right? So it was very difficult. It's described in the first chapter. He was in tears. Also in the second, he was lamenting. So he was in tears. He dropped his bow. How can I do this, Krishna? So Krishna said, "You are lamenting for that which is not worthy of lamentation." Charya pushed the kashti. Was it? Anyway, he said, "You are lamenting for that which is not worthy of lamentation." And what is that? The body. You're lamenting for the death of a body. But he's not his body. Bhishma's not his body. And what was Arjuna's teacher's name? He was also lamenting. He taught him. He taught him how to use the bow. Arjuna was the best. And Dronacharya, he was his teacher. So he was also being asked to kill his teacher, which is almost on the level of Bhishma. Very difficult. So Krishna was determined to change his mind, to change his desire. And what changed his understanding, what changed his mind, was the clear teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. That you're lamenting for the body, but we're not the body. None of us here, we're not men or women or Indian or American. No, we're the spirit soul within. So Krishna was so convincing that at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, he said, Nasto moham smriti lapti Krishna vachanam. This was the statement of Arjuna. Because Krishna, he said, he also said, iti sadaskam nam, iti sadaskam, iti jnanam akyatam, guya yatmam. He said, now I've explained to you knowledge even more clearly. Now you do as you like. Do whatever you wish. So this is Krishna. He gives free will. So he explained the whole Bhagavad Gita. Now you do as you like. And Arjuna said, now my illusion is gone. My memory of you is awoken. Nasta moha smriti labdha. Karishye vachanam tava. And now I am ready to act as you desire. So Krishna changed his thoughts. He changed his desire. He desired to fight with Krishna. Because Krishna explained also that if Bhishma loses, where does he go? Where does he go? If the Kshatriya loses in a warrior, in a battle, where does he go? He goes to heaven. And if he wins, then he wins the kingdom. So no loss. So when we read Bhagavad Gita, we should also have this mood, that my illusion is gone. My memory of you is woken, and now I'm ready to act as you desire. And there's one verse in the Bhagavad Gita, the Prabhupada said is a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. All that you do, all that you eat, as well as all that you offer, everything that you do should be as an offering to me. Yat kroshi yadasnasi yaj jahosi nadasya yat tapasyasi kauntaya tat krusra mararpanam. All that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities you perform, should be done as an offering to me. There it is, right there. That's pretty high tech. So Prabhupada said this is the summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So we're doing so many things. You're all working people, right? You're working. So it may be hard to think of Krishna, but I have very nice devotee friends that are working in the workforce, and they're thinking of Krishna. It's possible, isn't it? I mean, you're thinking of Krishna. It's possible. And also, there's ways that you can do devotional service. You give donations to the temple. And actually, the most pleasing thing that you can do in Krishna. Anybody know what is the most pleasing thing that you can do for Krishna?
Chanting his name.
Chanting his name, that's very pleasing. Anybody else?
Heart.
Huh?
Giving your heart.
Giving your heart, very pleasing to Krishna. Anything else?
Speaking about Krishna. Speaking about Krishna.
Speaking about Krishna, yes, very pleasing to Krishna.
Serving his devotees.
Serving his devotees, very pleasing to Krishna. Anything else?
Introducing new people to Krishna consciousness.
Introducing new people to Krishna consciousness, yes. Krishna says, Yaidang Padamanguyam Mad Bhaktesa Bhasasa. He says, anybody who is preaching this message of Bhagavad Gita is most dear to me, and there'll never be anyone more dear to me. So this is what is most pleasing to Krishna. And actually what we have now coming up is the Prabhupada Marathon. Starting, I think, is it already started?
Just want to add one thing. Since you're talking about marathon, we have got 4 boxes of Gitas, 3 Murti sets, and we'll be requesting everyone to. So
We have 4 boxes of Murti sets. So these are 3 Murti.
Yes,
So you can give these to your friends, or you can take them for yourself. These are called Murti boxes, or Murti sets. This is the Bhagavad Gita, the higher taste, and the science of self-realization. And he's brought these here specifically for the marathon. All over the world, devotees are getting ready. Generally, it's from the beginning of December to the end of December, but here I think it's a little more.
October.
Starts in October. Because Vaiseshika Prabhu is very fired up. Very fired up. So please take some of these books before you go, and you can give them to your friends. And that's the best thing you can do for a friend. Because Krishna, he's the best friend of everyone. So if you give a friend, the best friend of everyone, you become their best friend. Become a very good friend. Because you're giving the best thing to them. I remember when I first read the Bhagavad Gita 47 years ago, I was amazed. I was completely captured by the teachings. I couldn't put it down. I read it in like 6 days. It's such an amazing teaching. And this is what is needed all over the world. People don't know. People don't know what to desire. But when you read Bhagavad Gita, we learn what to desire. To think of, he says, always think of me. Always think of me, he said. Become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage unto me. So this is very pleasing to Krishna. He teaches us what to desire. If we don't have the teachings of Krishna, then we just desire all kinds of nonsense. Just like we have these 4 regular principles. No gambling. There's people that are addicted to gambling. It's one of the worst addictions, actually, gambling. People are so addicted that sometimes they gamble away their homes, their cars, their bank balance, their son's college money, everything. They just lose it. So therefore, it's a restricted thing in America. Some places they allow it. Las Vegas. And other places. But generally it's restricted. Why? Because it's not good. It's not good. It ruins people's lives. So things that are not good for us are restricted. So therefore, that's one of the regular principles. No gambling. Actually, Prabhupada said, in one sense, we're all gambling. Gambling means you give something with an idea you're going to get something in return. So we're giving our life, many of us. But we don't know what the return is going to be. So in one sense, it's a gamble. But in one sense, it isn't, because by practicing Krishna consciousness, we already get a good return, because we get association. That's a good return, right? Then we get nice prasadam. That's a big return. We get the association, darshan of the deities. We get the best philosophy. Krishna says that there's no truth higher than me. Everything is emanating from me. Everything is resting on me as pearls are strung on a thread. So this is the highest philosophy. And when I read the Bhagavad Gita, see, I was on a search. I was looking for the truth. I grew up a Christian, but I wasn't very satisfied. There's not much there philosophically, not much there also about God. When I read the Gita, I thought, wow, right, this is it. This is the highest. I was very inspired. And so inspired that I thought, well, it's such an important message, I should give it out to others. You get something nice, then naturally you want to share it with others. Like sometimes I'm on book distribution, people ask me, why are you out here doing it? I said, well, I've gotten something very nice. By the mercy of God, I've gotten something very nice. I want to share it with others. So this is the best thing that we can do for others, is sharing this transcendental knowledge. So association with devotees, sadhu sangha nam kirtan, chanting the names of Krishna. The name of Krishna is so sweet. Rupa Goswami says, I do not know how much nectar there is in the 2 syllables, Krishna. When the holy name enters into the courtyard of my heart, it stops the activities in my mind, and I experience unlimited happiness. Wouldn't that be nice? All the nonsense activities of the mind stops. And it's just Krishna, 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 Krishna. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. So that's what happens if we take this seriously. Then we become full with Krishna, no more Maya. So sadhu sangha nam Bhagavad Shravana. Bhagavad Shravana means hearing. Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. We have at the temple we have Srimad Bhagavatam. Who here owns Srimad Bhagavatam? Oh, wow, practically all of them. So for those of you that don't have one, we have them at the temple. It's so wonderful. It's so wonderful. I've read it. It's 18 volumes. It's so nice. So nice. Like the Bhagavad Gita. See, the Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna, and the Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken about Krishna. Therefore, there's the 10th canto, and there's all kinds of amazing pastimes of great devotees. It's just wonderful. So if you don't have a Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam said, I highly recommend it. Give yourself a good Christmas present. So sadhu sangha nam kirtan bhagavad Mathura vas, to live in the holy places. This is another wonderful thing. To live near the temple also is very auspicious. And then to worship the deity. So these are all very auspicious and help us grow in spiritual life. So maybe I'll stop there. If there's any question or comment, or should we stop there? Stop. Or question. Any question or comment or correction? Yes, Prabhu.
No, that's when it will be hard. So, couple of things I was remembering. One was association. I was hearing when Vaishika Maharaj was giving a class on Sunday. He said, we assume the qualities with the kind of people we associate with. So I was remembering the point you mentioned, association.
Yeah, I'll say something about that. In Brazil, they have a saying, you tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. And we've all heard the birds of a feather flock together. That's a common. So by association with the devotees, that association rubs off onto us. Especially if you get the association of great devotees like Vaisesika Maharaj. And now with this, with the internet, you can associate with so many devotees because we have something called ISKCON Desire Tree. How many of you have heard of ISKCON Desire Tree? You can go on ISKCON Desire Tree and you can hear from hundreds of different devotees that are giving so much realization about Krishna consciousness. So with this tech age, even if someone's living out in the boondocks somewhere when there's no devotees, still they can get association with devotees by the internet. So that's an auspicious thing that we have now, this high-tech age. Did you have something else?
So it was just a reflection that actually yesterday I was getting all the groceries, and I was just dropping at someone's house. So the gentleman just said that so many groceries you bought, and then he said from your own money for tomorrow. I said yes. And then as soon as he said that, I was just reflecting that in Govardhan, when the offering is done to Govardhan, then all the people all over the nearby cities, they all bring items to offer it to Girirajji. So, and then I was just, and the next day I was just reflecting on that it's not a big deal because we all will be serving together to Girirajji. And in our place, Jagannath Dode Subhadra. And then next day, somehow I was not able to get all the groceries for time constraint. And then in the afternoon, one devotee just called Manjiri and said that today because of some time constraint, I'm not able to make anything. But I got a lot of groceries in the morning. So can I drop all the groceries at your home? So I was just thinking that how in previous times, the entire cities come together to make an offering. So like that, I was just reflecting that today in the evening will be many devotees have put together and they are all coming together to make an offering to
56 offerings. That's what the Lord Jagannath eats every day. Right? He's got a good appetite. 56 times a day he eats. So yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. It's nice, devotees, so many devotees. How many of you cooked for the deities today? One. Oh, they cooked, right? Yeah.
Like most of them are inside still.
The cooking stove, maybe. Very good. So yeah, this is very auspicious. This is a way to please Krishna. Patram pushpam phalam tvayam yame bhakta prayas taraham bhakta snami payatatra. He says, if one offers me of love and devotion, a leaf, a flower, food, or water, I'll accept it. So Krishna, he likes it when we make offerings to him. But what is most important is the devotion. That's what is most important, is the devotion. It's described that the prasadam is mixed with the saliva of Krishna. special prasadam. Anything else?
I have one. 2 weeks back, I was in ISKCON, I bought something, but I was not able to get the full of the thing. So I just wanted to clarify. So you heard that once.
Can someone close the door? I can't.
They're bringing prasadam.
Oh, they're bringing more prasadam. Okay.
I'll speak a little.
Yeah, speak loud so that everybody can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So one always should follow his duty. One should always follow his duty. He should not copy others' duty.
Yeah.
And one again, always ready to be changed, embrace the change. Example, Parsurama was a Brahmana, but he embraced the Kshatriya. That's the change.
So let me repeat what you're saying. We have our nature, so we should do our nature, but sometimes we could change our nature, such as Parasuram.
Yes.
Okay?
And the first was not nature, it's the duty. For an example, I'm a peon of the office, so I should follow my duties rather than let's say another employee or clerk. That is not my duty, clerk, what is clerk is there. I'm a peon, so I have to do my duties there.
Yeah.
So here I'm a bit confused. Is whatever I'm getting into be changed, means always the law of the universe, you have to embrace the change. So if I don't need to copy, if I don't need to see what other people are doing, if I don't see that, how I can put the change into myself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everybody has different natures. You know, some people have a Kshatriya nature, some people have a business nature, some people have a brahminical nature. So, but the nature of everyone, the duty of everyone, whether one is a Sudra, or a Kshatriya, or a Vaishya, or a Brahmana, is to surrender to Krishna. That's there within everyone. That nature is there, no matter what our nature is. Materially. Spiritually, we're all eternal servants of Krishna. So everyone's duty is to devote themselves to Krishna. And this is what satisfies the soul. Prabhupada mentions in the purport, the Krishna Bhakti Nishtama, Ateva Shanta Bhukti Mukti Siddhikami Sakli Ashanta. The devotees of the Lord, they're peaceful because they have no material desires. So whatever occupational duty one has, we should give up material desires and develop our spiritual desires. And that's how we'll become peaceful. Otherwise, we're not peaceful. Bhukti mukti is siddhikami. Bhukti means people that have material desires, the material enjoyment. They're not satisfied. Just like the people, in general, the people want to get things. They think that if I get things, I'll be satisfied. But things don't bring joy. Actually, we'll find out how wealthy we are when we find out how many things we have that money can't buy. We'll find out how wealthy we are when we find out how many things we have that money can't buy. Now, what is a valuable thing that money can't buy? Health. Peace. Time. Can't buy back that. Even with $1 million, you can't buy back a second. What else is very valuable that money can't buy? Love. That's the most important thing. Everybody wants love, but you can't buy it. Sometimes you'll see a beautiful girl with no man. Yeah. She's just marrying the money, not the guy. And there's no love there. What else? What else is very valuable that money? Friends, yeah. I have a friend. His name is Ambarish. He's Alfred Ford. He's the great grandson of Henry Ford, multi-millionaire. And he told me one time, Vijay, in my next life, I don't want to be wealthy. Why? Because when you have wealth, everyone is your friend. Everybody's very nice to you. So you don't know who your real friends are. So if you're not wealthy, that's good. Then you know who your friends are. What else is very valuable?
Respect and trust.
Yeah. Actually, the most important quality in a friendship is trust. Trust. And actually, the reason we're all here is because we left Krishna wanting to take the position of Krishna. And now people are here trying to enjoy Krishna's property. Everything belongs to Krishna. And people are here in this world, they're trying to enjoy Krishna's property. So if you're trying to enjoy someone else's property, what is that called? If someone's property is there and you take it away to use it, what is that?
Renting.
Huh?
Renting or leasing.
Not renting.
Trespassing.
He's a thief. He's a thief. Just like imagine there's two friends. They're growing up, both just young boys, 10 years old. They're real good friends. And then they're growing up, and one of them becomes a multimillionaire. And the other one he's just kind of getting by. So the one that's just kind of getting by, he steals a large amount of money from his friend. So the trust is lost. And to mend that relationship, very difficult. Very difficult. So that's what we're doing now. We're trying to mend our relationship with Krishna. We left Krishna, trying to enjoy his property, trying to be the enjoyer, the proprietor. So it's so important that we understand that he is the supreme. We're small. We're very small. How small are we? I'm so small that you can't even see me. Because the soul can't be seen by any microscope. So small. We're so small. Krishna's great, we're small. So this process of Krishna consciousness is meant to help us understand. He's great, we're small, and the best thing we could do is serve Krishna. Try to mend this relationship. And this is the nicest relationship. Krishna's the best. He's wonderful. There's a chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Wonderful Krishna. So many wonderful pastimes of Krishna. He's so wonderful. Such a good friend. Always thinking of our best interest. He wants us to go back to God and much more than we want to. He's such a dear Father. So we should give it our best to serve Krishna. And that will be good for us. And Krishna will be pleased. So I think we've gone over now. So we will stop there. Thank you very much.